Heck, more twins! Based on Hullo Twins and The Missing Coach by the Reverend W. Awdry, written by Professor Vengeance, told by Darth Will 3. They're yellow, they're thick, they're escaping from Sodor. They're now property of the Thin Git, who, thanks to them, gets covered in, you know. More and more people were being forced to travel on the Thin Git's railway. More and more ships came to the harbors, bringing naive holidaymakers, immigrants, and surplus children from Sodor. Everyone had to work very hard indeed. The freight cars complained bitterly, but then, they're freight cars. What on earth were you expecting, you nit? The coaches complained too. No sooner had they arrived late with one train than they had to go out again with grubby passengers as another. "We don't know whether we're coming or going," they protested. "We wish we knew. Nobody tells us anyway." "No one can say," grumbled Pip, "that they're afraid of hard work, but—" "We draw the line at freight trains," finished Emma. "We've told the Thin Git time and time again we're high-speed trains, but he just won't listen." "Dirty cars, dirty sidings, ugh!" shivered Bowler, flashing back to the dreaded Smelly Sardine incident. "What are you all blubbering about?" asked Spamcan. "Diesel and I are the ones who have to put up with all those shrieking cars day in, day out. The yard's getting busier every day." "Not to mention messier," scoffed old Stuck-up. "I swear you two gallivant in those sidings all day long, while we proper engines have to do everything ourselves. I can't remember the last time Diesel fetched our coaches for us like a proper little shutter." "Maybe if Derek the detonator didn't blow up in the middle of every train he pulled, I'd have time to ignore you," growled Diesel. "Detonator!" cried Derek, letting off a cloud of black smoke. "Let me tell you—" "Shut it!" ordered a well-known voice. The engines froze as the Thin Git approached. "Let me tell you that I am looking into purchasing a new engine to help with the summer rush." The news was received with calls of "About blooming time!" Several days later, the Thin Git had been called to the yard. His search for a new engine had not been going well. All the workshops he had visited thus far were either too expensive, out of stock, or had engines which were only half built. He tried ordering his workmen to build a new engine themselves, but the injury rate had become too depressing. "This had better be important," the Thin Git said to the yard manager. "I haven't had my midday pint yet." "I'm sorry about this, sir," said the yard manager, "but the new engines appear to have arrived." "New engines? What new—" The Thin Git stared. Standing before him were two identical diesel shunters he had never seen before. They were short and square, with 6 wheels, like Diesel. Their paint, black and yellow with hazard stripes on the front, was shabby and weather-worn. Lettering on their sides appeared to have been scribbled out with felt pen. Their miserable stubby faces eyed him hopefully. "All right, what's all this, then?" he demanded. Said one Diesel. Said the other. "Don't get clever with me," snapped the Thin Git. "What are you doing in my yard?" "Forgive me, sir, but aren't these the new engines you ordered?" said the yard manager, who was most confused. "I haven't ordered any ruddy engines yet, you cloth-eared goof," snapped the Thin Git. "We barely have enough money for one engine. Why would I order 2? "Buy one, get one free," chimed the twins at once. The Thin Git eyed them suspiciously. "What workshop are you from?" The twins exchanged nervous looks. Said one. "We're from, Fakey's." "Yeah, that's it. Fakey and, "Made up," put in the second. "Yeah, that'll do. Fakey and made up," they proclaimed together. "Do you take me for an idiot?" snarled the Thin Git. "Fakey and made up told me their stock was empty yesterday." "Well, you see, the thing is, Happy birthday, said the first Diesel. The thin Git looked at their hopeful faces. He turned away. He was trying to hide the wicked grin growing on his own. He could tell the twins were lying through their teeth, but truthfully, he didn't really care. All he knew that he had two eager, free diesel shunters seemingly desperate for any kind of work. He swung around again. What are your names? Arry and Bert, sir. Good, he said. Manager, get these engines fueled up and set them to work. I've got a tank guard of guineas with my name on it. He ran thirstily away. Arry and Bert were soon bustling about the yard. They didn't mind what they did. They tackled freight trains and coaches with ease. For once the twins had shunted them, coaches and cars were too shell-shocked to try any tricks. The other engines were glad of the help, even if the twins did seem like a couple of thugs. Pip and Emma no longer had to pull freight trains. Bowler and Old Stuck-Up didn't have to fetch their own coaches. Diesel and Spamcan had more help in the yard, and Derek's breakdowns caused fewer delays. For the first time in a long time, things were starting to go right on the other railway. Or at least going towards right. One morning, though, things started to go wrong. Bert was helping Diesel in the yard while Arry was rescuing Derek at the other end of the line. As Diesel was busy fighting with some cars, Bert offered to take Pip, who was having trouble starting, to the big fat station for him. Bert was enjoying himself when an awful thought struck him. I hope Sir Topham Hatt doesn't find out we're here. I couldn't bear going back. He worried so much over this that he forgot about Pip. He pushed her into a busy siding, then trundled along to join Arry at the fuel pump. After a few pints of oil, Emma came fussing. Where's Pip? Pip? Asked Arry. You mean the slightly less annoying version of you? Yes, Pip, squeaked Emma. She's gone. No one knows where she is. Oh, I must find her. She bustled away, just as Spamcan rumbled past her with a sewage train. Stuck in the middle of the tankers, desperately trying to hold her breath, was Pip. Oh, bother, said Bert. I must have shunted her into the sewage train. You bloomin' idiot, Bert, snapped Arry. We had a good thing going here, and you've gone and mucked it all up. It's not that bad, is it? Asked Bert, the less intelligent of the two. It is that bad, said Arry. When everyone finds out what happened, the thin kid'll send us away. Sir Topham Hatt'll hunt us down, and then it's back to the magical land where dreams come true for us. Shut up and look at this, said Arry's driver. A mob of angry passengers erupted from the siding with pitchforks and torches. Pip and Emma's Express was the only reliable service on the whole railway, and the delay had infuriated them. They'll be complaining to the thin Git, said Bert's driver. He'll be coming here next. I'm not going back to that sugary heck hole, proclaimed Arry, starting to feel a little intoxicated. Once again, Bert, it's my job to save us from certain doom. Now listen up. The thin Git and three especially burly passengers stormed across the yard, but Arry and Bert were nowhere to be seen. Diesel and his driver waited with innocent expressions. Ah, said the thin Git. Diesel, and what are you doing here? Trying to find Pip, sir, said Diesel in an unusually deep voice. I offered the shunter for Bert because he was being an idiot as usual, and I, sort of lost her somehow. Don't know how that happened. His driver struggled to keep smiling. I see, some mental defect, no doubt. Tell me, did your crew shave you this morning? No, sir, said Diesel, his driver running in front of his stubbled chin. Had a late night last night with that incredibly brilliant and handsome Arry fella. Said the thin Git. He turned to the passengers. Here, gentle mob, are the facts. Diesel here's been shunting the yard after a night on the tiles. Pip disappears. We investigate.
Diesel confesses and, doesn't have a clue where she is. You figure it out. We'll look into the matter straight away. Now buzz off!"
Diesel beamed as the passengers started to walk away. It was working. It was really working. Then there was trouble. The passengers were alerted by a loud tooting. Spamcan suddenly roared into the yard with a sewage train. In the middle of the tankers was a terrified Pip, and stuck at the front, pushing back against the train, was a panicked Bert.
"Stop, for heaven's sake!"
he cried.
"It's Pip!"
"Move!" cried Spamcan.
"I can't see where."
Too late. The sewage train plowed through a siding and rocketed off the rails. Filthy water flew all over the yard. Bert, Pip, and Spamcan lay dazed, confused, and smelly. Worst of all, the sewage splashed over Diesel and washed off his paint, revealing a very embarrassed Arry underneath. The thin Gid's shoulders twitched. He wiped his brow. Arry wondered if he would explode.
"What the bloomin' heck was that?"
He did.